Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching this from. Now, the title of today's video will be Social Media Etiquette for Freemasons. Now, this is basically a common sense video, but it looks like even in today's times, these messages have to be reassured about you always exemplifying yourself in the best of characters in all of the ways possible that you do. Now, when you make the promise to become a Mason before God and before your brothers, you promise to live up to a very high integrity and a very high example of character, where you know that you will only tolerate moments of harmony and unity between them and address moments where anything which causes disunity and chaos you refrain from or address these matters in private. Now, I've been observing these patterns of disunity and disharmony on social media since 2016. Ever since the whole political situation and so on, up from then until now, where many brotherhoods and friendships have been broken over, people not and brothers not being able to circumscribe their desires and live within due bounds. Now, it's just like those people that might call you brother in lodge, but then they go online and post anti-Islamic or anything anti that's against who you are and what you stand for. No, we shouldn't be like that. We should refrain from that, because you are the exemplar that promised to be who you are and represent who you are in the society. Now, look at myself. I'm a Pakistani American. I'm a Muslim American. I'm a Sufi. I'm a Mason. I have so many other identities that I represent, and when people look at me, they will learn through my actions. I can say whoever I want, have the square and compass on my car, wear the ring, all that good stuff, but you are not who you say you are until you exemplify that in your actions, with your dealings with self, with family, with others, and realize this, that majority of your time is spent outside the lodge. Spent with your home, your workplace, your family, your community, your friends, social media. And that's where you should be exemplifying yourself the most, where whoever looks at you be like, wow, who is this person? Let me try to get under their light. So when you have that aura of light and goodness and getting close to God around you, that's how you will attract others to you. It's about your actions and about the feeling that you give others in your love and positivity. It's not about, even if some of these groups that they have on Facebook, like private groups, where they're doing, Muslim bashing, Jew bashing, bashing African Americans, bashing Prince Hall. I mean, come on, you're better than that. And we must continue to exemplify our good values of saying that all men are treated equal. So if you're saying all men are treated equal, then you're making a promise before God. And a Mason's word is as good as his bond. So if you're saying that and doing something else, you're already in trouble with the divine forces. So, I really stress the importance of love and unity. Anywhere where you see disharmony taking place, whether it's in a Facebook group or it's in any personal dealing with anyone, try to refrain from getting into any altercation online, because other people who are on social media who are non-Masons, they watch you two battle it out, and they're like, yo, man, looks like these people are just fighting all the time. It's better to just, not deal with them in any way. So, and I've seen people that supposedly have high honors and degrees and titles, even they fail to refrain from their passions. Now I understand, every human being is imperfect, that's all good and all that, but that's still shouldn't be an excuse for lacking common sense on knowing that if I have an issue with somebody or if I disagree with him in any way, I should consult with him in private. Give him a phone call, because it's like when you type a text behind a phone, that has a different feeling, or you send him a message on Messenger that has a different feeling, and the person feels like, oh man, maybe he's calling me this word or that word in his mind. So have face-to-face interaction, that has a different feeling behind it. Give them a phone call and discuss it privately and resolve your matters privately. Don't just, put it out there on Facebook. And realize the promise you made to yourself and to your brothers and to Almighty God to always exemplify yourself in good character and harmony always. And, exclude yourself from any group or place where, you see disharmony coming to rise up, with all due respect for yourself and others, because you rather save yourself from a situation before, you get into an altercation with someone and, you end up having a misunderstanding, then your friendship is broken. So it's better to, take that exit early and, talk to them in private to, reserve that brotherhood, to know who we are, what we stand for, and what we need to do, which is to uplift the fallen state of mankind and to exemplify our good characters, smooth out the rough ashlar, and just try to leave a better world behind. We have our life today, we don't have our life tomorrow. Life is short. I always say life is beautiful, but it's also short. So we must keep that in mind, that we should promise to treat ourselves and our fellow brothers with all due love and respect, no matter what their race or religion. If you have any matters with them, resolve it privately, so other people who look at you and your etiquette and your character and how you deal with others, they can admire you and you can be an example to them. And we need those examples. Our world should not be in a turmoil when people like us exist. That means we have failed somewhere, because we're too busy, fighting for, this degree or that degree, or somebody's trying to get this honor before the other guy. So don't worry about it, man. Just try to do good and try to live your life day by day. What you do today matters most, because every day you go to sleep, you practically die, and then you wake up, you have a new life again. So don't, start scurrying yourself off in the long run where you put yourself into a competition with your own brother, thinking, oh, I need to get this before him, I need to get that before him. No, because then you lost the whole purpose. And, that's, you see that on social media as well, where some of these people, are not making good and etiquette posts. Now, I know there's freedom of speech and the right to be a free man and all that stuff, but anything which causes disharmony or chaos or disunity, it's better to refrain from that. Like, you have certain laws in Europe. I can't just go there and say what I want. You get in trouble for that. Or you can't just go into a movie theater and, yell certain things. There's certain limits that you cannot cross. So, we must continue to, exemplify ourselves in our values and what we stand for and what we need to do. And to make sure that anyone that we see that goes against those values, we address them in private, whether it's on a public Facebook page, or you're friends with them, or they're doing something in their groups and stuff. Always try to maintain the harmony as much as you can, because it's your etiquette that counts. It's your etiquette. I mean, some of the way these people behave on social media, would you want somebody to behave like that in front of your kids? Right? You wouldn't want them to. So give that same respect to, other people that are on social media, including those who you promise to call brothers, and know that, hey, you know what? Let me try to be the better person. Let me try to be calm. Let me try to be helpful. Now, there were so many people that I came across that were making Islamophobic posts left and right. Okay, that's fine. I would address them in private. I wouldn't start a fight with them, right on that post. And it's like, little it's like 100 comments later, people would end up snoozing me and be like, yo, man, what's wrong with these people? So we must continue to be, better in all that we do, more tolerant, more better, more understanding, more forgiving, more merciful. And in all of the lessons that we learn, whether in the Holy Quran or the Bible, where, Joseph forgives his brothers, or, other stories that are there of forgiveness and mercy, let us exemplify that and know that our brotherhood extends. It's not just limited to the, American spectrum. This is global. I mean, I had the honor of traveling recently, and it shows you how deep Freemasonry really is, where some people are just limited to their local lodge and they don't think anything beyond that, or their local Facebook group and they don't think anything beyond that. Every country I went to, this is a powerful brotherhood, and it's full of love, light, happiness, and unity. And we must continue to exemplify those values and, in all that we do. And know that, okay, if this was the brotherhood that caused Saladin and Richard to meet on the level, the American Civil War for brothers across the lines to spare each other's lives and meet on the level, in World Wars One and Two, where opposite sides, sat and treated each other as brothers, where you have countries where, they hate each other, but when they come together, they work for a common goal. So, don't let this recent invention of social media that's been around, since like officially since 2000, like early 2000s with MySpace and then so on and so on. Don't let that, cause any damage to your character or your image that, people have. Or don't let, certain passions excite you where you're tempted to share a post that fits your beliefs. Have that, get out of that echo chamber, because I don't claim to have all the answers. So I would humble myself to learn from others, and I would expect others to give me that same respect back. That's part of social media etiquette, and not saying that, oh, I disagree with this, or you're wrong and it's like this, because then you already fell into the trap of disharmony. Now I know there are many who like to have debates and all that, but you got to do it in a respectful way. Anywhere you feel like you're crossing the line, then take that conversation private. That's the best way to handle that. And, I pray everything goes well for all of you and your families, especially in these current challenging times that we're living in. But we must be the better examples. If we want the youth of today, who have their, urges of technology and their own friendships and video games and social media to satisfy their urge, then what's going to be the position of this brotherhood when the old guard eventually starts going to the Grand Lodge above, which is inevitable? That's something that no one can stop from happening. No matter, how much money you have, what titles or degrees you have, that's a reality that we all have to face someday. So isn't it better that you start exemplifying that good character so others get attracted to you and your cause and your unity of brotherhood of all mankind to leave a better and peaceful world behind? So this is a very pivotal and critical time right now, and we need to start acting like so. So, look at yourself, observe yourself for the next a week or 2 weeks on social media and see what you're posting, how you're talking. Hey, if I post this, will it cause any problem with anybody? There's certain things you should keep to yourself, and if you see anyone that's crossing the line in any way where they're disrespecting another human being based on their identity or any of their beliefs, then you call them out on it. We owe that to each other to give good counsel to each other. So that's the best that I could think of, and just know that we must, we owe this love and light to each other because we're all walking each other home. We're all walking each other home, and we need to be that lamp of love and light in all that we do. And through my own efforts, through my YouTube channel, I made so many videos of, a lot of these Eastern cultures and philosophies, not just Islam, itself, but anything else where I felt was neglected by the system here, because, most are biased towards, only covering a certain amount, whether it's from your Romans or Greeks. They don't want to cross into the other territories. And I had the pleasure of talking to a brother who's in Europe, and he agreed with me that most of the education system here is a kind of a Eurocentric point of view. So in order to teach human unity and understanding, not only we should teach that, there's nothing wrong with teaching that, but also teach the Eastern side too, because as the double-headed eagle and the nature of duality within you, you must cover everything. So that's part of social media etiquette too. If you're sharing, just covering a certain group of people for Masonic knowledge, give the justice to everyone else so everyone feels a belonging to the craft in their own way. Now, there are so many subjects where if you would type in, let's say, the Yazidi and Freemasonry, nothing would pop up. Druze and Freemasonry, nothing would pop up. Buddhism and Freemasonry, nothing would pop up. Sufism and Freemasonry, nothing would pop up. So myself as a builder, I put all of that out there. So if they search any of that now, it's going to pop up. Because, as builders, if I don't see nobody else doing it, then it's my job to create that bridge between the different cultures and know that, hey, you know what? We're not what you perceived us to be. All the conspiracy theories and whatever you saw out there. Look, what you believe, Freemasonry is the same thing. It's not a religion, but, it's a philosophy and a way of thinking and life. Okay, your Zoroastrianism, okay, look, we have these things in common. Oh, you follow the Bushido? Okay, we have these things in common. Oh, you follow Sufism? Look, we share all these things in common. So I made the effort to connect to everyone to show that, hey, there's a little bit of masonry in each thing that you follow. So we're not too different from each other, because that's part of, that social media etiquette that, anyone in my friends list now, they're excited now every time I post a video. They're like, yo, man, we like watching the way that you cover it in the most diplomatic and humble way, but at the same time, I get my point across. So you have to be like that, and that's how you must address these matters, and know that, if my life were to end today, I knew that I did my part by bringing people together in whatever way that I could. I mean, I have a pair of $10 headphones and an old iPhone, but I still managed to, get a little bit of success with my YouTube channel. And I hope I continue to build and continue to put these videos out there, and continue to encourage those on social media that continue to educate each other, love each other, don't fall into traps of disunity and chaos, because you're supposed to be the better example, right? So if you keep falling into the same traps of disunity and chaos and fighting with each other like the profane world is on Facebook, then what's the difference between you and them? Then you're truly not an initiate. You have to get past that level of thinking and see the world and humanity through a different pair of eyes. And I encourage you all to travel too. That will definitely help you. Travel to other countries and, you see how things really work. And, just realize that, this life is a beautiful gift that we've been given, and it's our job to leave a better world behind for our future generations. And I will try everything in my power to unite mankind and reform the Masonic Brotherhood and defend my own faith. Whether it takes me the rest of my life to do so, I will continue to do it and show that this is what these things truly represent. And not if someone says something to me, then I go down to their level, and then there's no difference between me and them. So you got to be the better example. Social media etiquette. Take it day by day, and start honing that part of your craft as well, to refrain from posting anything negative, from getting into any fight, and posting anything hurtful against anyone. If you see anyone doing it, you respectfully call them out in private, instead of starting a comment war in their public profile, which everyone can see the comments. So it's like, if a husband and wife are fighting in their house, they're not going to go out to the town hall and so everyone can see their fight. Sometimes you gotta resolve your matters privately. So, please love one another. Life is too short. Respect one another, and just try to build a better world behind and leave a better world behind, not just for the brotherhood, but for your family and friends too. Because, always your family and friends come first before anything. So think about them and always exemplify your good character, and never look down upon anyone. No one is above you or beneath you. We're all walking each other home, no matter what path you're following in your life, philosophically, religiously. At the end, we all meet at the same spot at the end. So, think about the things that I'm telling you, and I send my love to you and yours for the rest of August and for the rest of the year. Stay safe, stay healthy, and Uncle Sal loves you. So take care and have a good one.